Hi Stampers! Today we're going to show you how to make this slider card. It incorporates two of my most favoriteest things, Mr. Crabby pants, and it's a moving card. Let me show you. I'm just going to use my tweezers here to show you how it moves because my hands will be in the way. But yeah, it moves. And so does Mr. Crabby pants. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to be using black cardstock, and I'm going to cut that at 6 by 6, and I'm going to score that at 3 inches. Then I'm also using Bashful Blue. I cut that at 5 3/4 by 2 inches. And then I went ahead and stamped the shell from the Crabby Company stamp set in the white craft ink, and then I added some doodle dots with my white gel pen. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. We'll come back to that later. Okay, so first we're going to do our sliding mechanism. I'm using the Bashful Blue. You're going to put it in your cutter and you're going to line that up with 3 3/4 inch. And then this arm right here is my cutting guide that I'm going to use for making my sliding mechanism. So I'm going to also, I don't know if you know this or not, but this sliding tool, let me see if you can see it better. This sliding tool right here is the exact measurement where the cutter is, the cutter underneath. So whenever you're lining it up, say if you want it at 5, you use this as your guide. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go back to where we were going to go. Alright, so you're going to put your Bashful Blue in at 3 3/4 inch. And then I'm going to line my blade up with this arm here at 3/4. And then I'm going to cut it down to 5. So let's go ahead and do that. And see, I've got my line right here lined up right with 5 because that cuts it right down to 5. And I like to make a couple passes just to make sure it's a crisp cut. Okay, so then you're going to slide your Bashful Blue down to the 1 1/8. The 1/8 mark is right past the 1. And lining up my cutter blade with the 3/4 inch again, and I'm going to cut it down to 5. Making a couple passes again. Okay, so then that's my sliding mechanism that I'm going to use for my Mr. Crabby pants. Okay, so now we're going to take our Whisper White, and I'm using, this is cut at 1/4 inch, and you can do it any length you want. I just find it a little bit easier to use if it's a little bit longer. So what you're going to do is you're going to weave this into your slit there, and you're going to fold it over. Fold it over, but you don't want it too tight because then it won't slide very good when you go to move it. And I'm going to use my mini glue dots. I'm just going to take one off here and I'm going to put it on the Whisper White. Put it right on top of there. And then I'm going to fold that over again onto that last layer here. Line that up a little bit better. There we go. Press it down so it adheres good together. And I'm just going to trim that white off. And then I'm going to go ahead and make another one for my greeting. Doing the same thing. You don't want it too tight. Remember? Let me get a glue dot. Whoop, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, just put that on top of the Whisper White. And then I'm going to fold that over top of that. Adhere that down. Okay, and then I went ahead and added my doodle dots and my swirls with my black marker and my white gel pen. So then you're going to take a dimensional. I'm going to put it right on top of the Whisper White. Peel that off. Okay, and then I went ahead and cut out my Mr. Krabs in the greeting. I used the Bashful Blue and the black marker, and then I added some googly eyes with my Tomboy Multi. And then I added some dazzling diamonds to his pinchers. Alright, so let's go ahead and adhere him down. You just want to kind of position him over that sliding mechanism thing. And then I'm going to add the greeting. Okay. And then it will slide really easy. See? I could actually probably do it with my hand better. Okay. So then you're going to add some dimensionals to the back side of your Bashful Blue. I put one in each corner. And this size of a card, the 6x6, and then scored at 3, it fits our envelopes perfectly, the small open-end envelopes. Ugh. Sticking to my fingernail. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere him to my card. Okay, just press it down. Okay, so then you have your Mr. Crabby Pants moving card. Isn't it adorable? Thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Bye!